If you have found this message today, let me tell you something with complete certainty. It is not the algorithm, and it is not a random moment. It is the universe responding to the quiet question your soul has been holding. Somewhere deep in that part of your heart where doubt started to grow, there was something you were meant to hear. Right now, before your uncertainty turns into giving up, this message reaches you because the time has come. I know you have been quiet. I know you have been trying to live as if everything is finished, trying to convince yourself that you have already moved forward. But deep inside there is a question that keeps coming back. A question that disturbs your peace no matter how hard you try to push it away. This question about the future of this bond is something only the divine plan can answer. And the answer is arriving now with a clarity you can no longer avoid. Stop thinking you are exaggerating what you feel. You are not imagining this intensity. You are not loving without reason, and you are not loving alone. The connection between you and this person is real. It is not created by the mind, but rises from the soul. It is not a passing desire, but a deep meaning. The most important message for you today is this: do not give up. You are standing right at the edge of a manifestation that has been prepared for both of you for a very long time. You cannot imagine how much energy is moving behind the scenes in your favor. That feeling that something is about to change is not a fantasy. The way this story refuses to leave your heart, the way their name keeps coming back to your mind, the way you feel drawn back again and again, this is not obsession. Nor is it attachment. It is a sign. A signal that belongs to a purpose that neither distance nor silence nor time can erase. So the first important step today is this: stop seeing distance as a failure. In truth, physical distance is only an illusion. The energetic connection between you two is more alive than it has ever been. Your souls are in constant communication. You are joined by a thread that cannot be broken. The emptiness you feel is a reflection of their own emptiness. They feel your absence just as deeply. That absence is the tool destiny uses to awaken both hearts. This person holds your name deep within them. Even if they turn away or hide behind fear, the universe sees what the human heart tries to conceal. So do not give up on what entered your life with such a meaningful purpose. This love is not a random emotion. It comes from a higher place, from a spiritual and divine source. In the moments ahead, you will notice the first clear sign that their soul is reaching out to you right now. But to recognize it, you must first understand what is happening in the unseen world. The key for this connection to move forward does not lie in what you do on the outside, but in the certainty you hold inside. Stay steady, not from impatience, but from trust. Trust that what belongs to you will remain, and what destiny has joined cannot be taken apart. Listen to your intuition, that soft and steady feeling that tells you the love is still there. That is the truth you need right now. Know that someone truly loves you, someone who thinks of you much more often than they show. And this is only the beginning. If you are ready to accept this truth, leave a heart in the comments. Now that you recognize the truth of your intuition, it is time to walk from doubt into understanding, and from understanding into awareness of the invisible world that surrounds you. Despite the silence, despite the distance, you are not walking alone. The intensity you feel is not a trick of the mind, but a truth placed within you. If the universe brought you together, crossed your paths, and placed inside you a feeling you cannot deny, then it is because this connection has a purpose greater than ordinary logic. Maybe you have felt that this bond asks more from you than you receive, or that you are holding on to something that seems to be fading. But that is only your perception. The truth is that you are being guided. The universe would never plant such a powerful love in your heart, only to leave you in confusion. When your heart returns again and again to the same person. It is not because your mind is playing games. It is because there is a bond that does not come from ego or desire, but directly from the soul. This feeling is real, and its purpose cannot be destroyed by silence or separation. Ask yourself this: why does this story continue to live inside you? Why does their name refuse to fade? Why does this connection stay unbroken? The answer is simple: because it is still alive. Because what is yours energetically cannot leave. What destiny is tied together cannot be separated by confusion or temporary pauses. So the feeling within you that refuses to let go is not weakness. It is your soul reminding you that this love is connected to your path. There is a big difference between what your eyes see and what your soul knows. Your eyes see only the surface, a person who appears distant, cold, or uninterested. But the universe whispers, do not trust the surface. Inside, this person carries emotions that lead directly back to you. Love like this does not always show itself clearly. Sometimes it hides, sometimes it freezes, sometimes it protects itself. Fear makes people go quiet. Fear makes them appear distant even when their heart is full. They think of you more often than they would ever admit. They feel your energy, your absence, your silence. They notice when your name comes up. They remember moments without warning. They look at old messages or photos they cannot delete. They feel an emptiness they cannot explain. And even if you believe they have moved on, they have not. If you think you mean nothing to them, you are wrong. If you think they have forgotten you, they have not. Some feelings do not disappear. Some memories never fade. Certain reminders follow them everywhere. There are moments when they stop whatever they are doing because something brings you to their mind. The universe has witnessed all of it. But let us talk about something real. How can you truly know that this connection is still alive right now? If this person feels your absence deeply, how does it appear in your world, in your emotions, in your body? The first true sign that this connection is active is emotional telepathy. The person is not distant because they do not care. They are distant because the depth of their feelings frightens them. Some souls love so deeply that they pause, freeze, or step back to catch their breath. So while you wonder why everything feels stuck, the universe is telling you that nothing has stopped. The story is still unfolding even if you cannot see the movement. On the contrary, the emotions of this person are moving even more strongly than before. Only now they are hidden deep inside the places you cannot see. But in those hidden spaces, destiny is already working. This inner movement affects your energy directly, and it appears in ways you often mistake for stress, tiredness, or sudden emotional changes. When this person thinks of you with strong emotion, their energy travels through the spiritual thread connecting your souls and reaches you. Sometimes it shows up as a sudden sadness or a heavy feeling in your chest without any clear reason. It is not your sadness. It is their longing, the weight of their regret and desire echoing in your emotional field. You believe the feel. NG belongs to you, but in reality it is theirs touching your energy. Another common sign is a sudden memory. Out of nowhere, an image of them, a moment you shared, or something they once said appears with such sharpness that it makes you stop. That is not a coincidence. That is the universe confirming what your intuition has been trying to tell you. The connection is still alive. You remain in their heart far more than you realize. It is their soul sending a gentle message to yours. You may even feel physical sensations like a sudden warmth in your face, chest, or hands, exactly in the moments when they think of you with affection or longing. That warmth is the energy of their love reaching you. And when fear rises inside them and they pull back emotionally, you might feel a brief chill, a drop in your stomach, or a wave of emptiness as though something was briefly taken from your energy. This is the effect of their inner conflict, Another very clear sign is the presence of music. You may hear a song from your shared memories, or a new melody that reminds you of them in an unexpected way. This is not random. The universe often uses sound as a bridge, an invisible signal reminding you that this connection is alive and that this person is thinking of you with great intensity. When they hear your name and something moves within them, that vibration echoes through the energetic thread, and you feel a similar emotional shift. There are nights when they think of you right before they fall asleep, and mornings when a memory of you tightens their chest. Even when they pretend to be strong through silence, the universe sees the truth behind their actions. It sees the vulnerability they cannot express. So if your intuition has felt stronger than usual lately, if you sense movement in the spiritual dimension, even on days you tried to convince yourself to move on, you must listen to that feeling. It is not dependency. It is not obsession. It is clarity. The universe is showing you through quiet signs that this love is still alive, that invisible threads connect your hearts, and that thoughts travel without words. The love this person carries for you is not something they can simply turn off. It is a love that fights its own fears, tries to understand itself, tries to resist even though it cannot. Your presence has left such a deep mark on their soul that they cannot speak it or even fully admit it to themselves, and this is exactly why you must not give up. By now we have recognized that your feeling is not an illusion, but a truth confirmed by the energy that constantly flows between you. Yet, a question still arises. Why is this bond so strong that neither space nor time can erase it? The answer lies in the idea of destiny's plan, what many call a soul agreement. You must realize this connection is not an accident. It was never a simple meeting or a short-lived attraction that fades when difficulties appear. This bond is the result of a higher plan, a spiritual agreement made long before you entered this physical world. It is a promise of growth, awakening, and mutual transformation. When two souls are united through destiny, the energy between them does not allow a final separation until the purpose of the connection is complete. That is why both of you have tried to let go but failed. That is why forgetting feels impossible. And that is the undeniable sign that this is a true soul connection. What is purely human can break. What is destined endures. The universe would never allow something essential for your spiritual path to be lost simply because one of you became afraid. The love you feel is not something created by the mind. It comes from a higher source beyond logic, beyond fear. The reason their name stays inside you even when you try to push it away is because your soul honors this spiritual promise. It is like an energetic anchor keeping you aligned with the truth of your connection. When the bond stays alive, when the memories continue to vibrate, it is because the universe keeps showing you its truth. It is destiny whispering, "Stay steady. This process belongs to me. I am taking care of the timing." There is something important to understand about the plan of destiny. Within it, there is no confusion, only necessary pauses. The universe never places you in a situation of heartbreak without meaning. If there is silence now, it is not an ending. It is a phase of reorganization and alignment. Destiny is working on this person so they may return stronger, more aware and emotionally ready. The universe does not want you to receive someone half prepared, nor does it want you to stay in anxiety or fear. That is why the bond does not break. It stretches, it softens, it rests, but it never disappears. Its core stays untouched, making sure that you will meet again when the moment is right. What feels like a heavy delay is actually the time the other person needs to heal their wounds, face their fears, and approach this soul agreement with maturity. The silence that confuses you is not a lack of love. It is in fact the opposite. On a spiritual level, they are overwhelmed. To understand why they have stepped back, we must look at the nature of this silence and what is happening inside them. This person is facing emotions deeper than anything they have experienced before. You, with your sensitivity and spiritual awareness, can understand the depth of this bond. They cannot yet. The intensity of this love, the strength of the connection, and the realization that you might be the person they have been searching for has created an emotional shock within them. Their silence is not rejection. It is fear of being vulnerable. Like a hurt animal hiding to protect itself, they step back to understand their feelings, to regain their balance, and to guard themselves from something that feels too powerful. This pause is their attempt to explain the unexplainable. They believe that stepping away, staying quiet, or avoiding the connection will calm their emotions and give them a sense of control. But the universe tells you clearly this behavior comes from confusion, not from a lack of love. Silence is simply the voice of their fear. And this fear exists because what they feel for you is the most genuine and powerful emotion they have ever experienced. They are not scared of you. They are frightened by the strength of their own feelings. They worry that if they give themselves completely, the pain of losing you someday would be too much to bear. So they step back before the connection grows even deeper. Inside, they are battling their own nature. Their mind, shaped by past wounds, tells them, be careful. Keep space. Do not trust this softness. But their soul keeps whispering your name and reaching for your presence. Silence is the place where this inner battle takes place. Yet even in this quiet space, the universe is not standing still. Within the silence, something powerful is forming, an invisible force that will push them to face what they have been avoiding. Destiny brings them situations, signs, and emotional moments that remind them of what they set aside. The absence of your energy feels like a burning emptiness, something no distraction or other person can replace. Every attempt they make to fill this space only shows them more clearly how strong this connection always was. So whenever you are tempted to believe that their silence means they do not care, pause for a moment. Silence is not coldness, it is proof of their inner struggle. It is the map of a heart being pushed by the universe, to face old wounds before it can step toward you in a healthier way. To allow healing and to let destiny complete its purpose, you must understand what they are fighting. Their silence and distance do not come from a lack of love. They come from an emotional armor built over years of pain, disappointment, and fear. And now the universe is slowly breaking that armor apart. This shield is the biggest barrier keeping them from moving forward. And yet the love you carry, pure, strong, and unconditional, reflects back a light they have not seen in themselves for a long time. For a soul that has been hurt before, it can be frightening to see itself so clearly. In those moments, their ego reacts instinctively, trying to protect them from a pain that no longer exists, but still lives in their memory. The true root of their fear is not the future. It is the past. It is the fear that this deep connection could end the same way their earlier experiences ended, in loss, betrayal, or disappointment. That is why the universe is leading them through a deep inner transformation, a kind of emotional night in which they must face their shadows, fears, and unresolved patterns. This phase of silence and apparent distance is necessary. It forces them to meet their own darkness, heal their wounds, and release what has been weighing them down. The universe is removing their ability to escape. It is pushing them to confront themselves and admit the truth of what they feel for you. This experience is not a punishment. It is a cleansing, a process that removes old beliefs, outdated defenses, and emotional blockages. When they return, it will not be because they need you, but because they have become whole. You are both a healing force and a challenge to them, a comfort and an exception. Their ego resists you, but their soul recognizes the truth. The love coming from you is too strong, too pure, too meaningful for them to keep living in denial. Destiny is reminding them again and again, and no defense, no emotional wall, and no avoidance can stand against a connection born from a higher purpose. But this time of separation is not only about their growth. While the universe works on their fears, it is also healing yours. You are learning how to love without losing yourself. You are learning how to stay centered without depending on their presence. You are learning how to trust even when you see no physical signs. Destiny is shaping you both, them to become braver, you to become steadier. And when the moment of reunion arrives, it must come from a place of balance, not lack, from wholeness, not desperation. All of this leads to a key turning point. The universe has already revealed that reunion is written in your destiny, but how quickly it happens depends on the clarity of your faith. Doubt slows everything down. Certainty strengthens the flow. Every moment of fear, lack, or impatience sends an energetic signal that you are not ready to receive what is meant for you. But when you stay in trust, your energy becomes magnetic. You attract effortlessly instead of pushing. This is why you must speak your trust out loud. Words have creative power. When you say with full conviction, "My soul trusts the timing of this destiny," you send a clear message to the universe. This is not just a statement. It is a shift in your inner energy. You break the chains of uncertainty and open the gates for manifestation. From here onward, your role is not to wait helplessly, but to release with awareness. The law of magnetic letting go teaches that attraction comes from peace. Those who chase push away. Those who trust draw everything closer. If you try to force the connection through fear or constant worrying, you unintentionally create resistance that blocks the energy. But when you let go with faith, you become open and aligned. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means trusting that love will return to you freely, with maturity and at the right moment. To truly apply this law, you must stop energetically chasing them. Chasing does not only happen through action, it also happens through thoughts, emotional fixation, and expectation. Every time you check their social media anxiously, wait restlessly for a message, or center your energy around what they are or are not doing, you shift into a place of lack. The spiritual practice of detachment invites you to return to your own center, to your growth, your peace, your life. When you begin to raise your energy without depending on them, you become magnetic. The universe sees your calmness, your confidence, your inner light. This energy sends a clear message: I am whole, I am complete, and what is meant for me will come without force. This inner balance is exactly what the other soul feels during their darkness. Your steadiness becomes a light that guides them back. When you stop sending out fear, pressure, or need, the pure energy of the soul connection starts to move without resistance. They do not return out of guilt or obligation. They come back because your energy becomes so clear and strong that their soul is naturally pulled toward you. This is the heart of magnetic detachment, releasing to attract. But to fully understand why the universe chose this path for both of you, you must understand why this separation was necessary in the first place. If the love is so deep and meaningful, why did the universe allow this painful distance? Because the separation is not punishment. It is preparation. It is activation. It is destiny rearranging everything so the connection can reach its highest form. The pause is not a penalty. It is a lesson, a preparation, a quiet training ground, so this love can stiz in its real and mature form. The connection between you was so powerful, so overwhelming that without healing and awareness, it would have collapsed under the weight of old wounds and emotional habits. The first hidden purpose of this separation is the maturing of the bond. When your paths first crossed, both of you reacted from past pains, from fear, from old emotional reflexes, from the need to feel secure and seen. The universe already knew that this would blur the purity of what you shared. So it stepped in and created distance, not to break you, but to help you see clearly. This phase of silence became a kind of spiritual space. You learned to love yourself without depending on their attention, while they were pushed to face their fears without using your closeness as comfort. The second purpose of this pause is transformation. Destiny does not want you to repeat the mistakes of the past. It wants the connection to return in a new form, more aware, more stable, deeper, and emotionally grounded. The pain of this separation is simply the cost of growth. Through absence, both of you finally understand the true meaning and value of what exists between you. Their soul realizes that you cannot be replaced, that no new connection will ever carry the same depth, because no other carries the same soul contract. That is why the universe keeps sending them reminders, moments that hit their heart without warning, flashes of memory, sudden emotions, a feeling of longing that refuses to fade. These moments remind them that they moved away from their true path. This pause is actually a sign of deep protection from the universe. A higher power says, I will guard this connection until you both are ready. I will separate you only so that you can heal and return whole, aware, and forever. The sadness you feel now is temporary, but the clarity you gain from it will stay with you for a lifetime. The love that returns later will not be the same as before. It will be a love that grows from understanding, not from need. And now that magnetic detachment has started working, and the inner darkness has reached its most intense point, the moment begins where your faith slowly turns into physical reality. The universe has already shown you that this separation is not final. Now it is time to notice the signs that the return is drawing near. The first and strongest sign is the rise of real inner telepathy. These are no longer random feelings or accidental memories. They become clear, powerful waves of emotion that appear when you least expect them. Warmth in your chest, sudden calm, a quiet joy for no reason. A sense of closeness you cannot explain. These are not your emotions. They are theirs. Their heart slowly stops resisting and begins to accept what it feels. And once they allow their feelings to move again, their energy reaches you instantly. Pay attention to timing. If you start waking up at the same hour every night, it may be the moment their heart is most active, or when a memory of you touches them so deeply that it takes away their sleep. Another strong sign is the repetition of specific numbers. The universe speaks through patterns and synchronicity. If you keep seeing repeating numbers again and again, 111 for alignment, 22 for balance and partnership, 77 for spiritual reward, it is not an accident. This is how the universe quietly says, divine timing is speeding up. The path is clearing. These signs are proof that all the unseen work is finally becoming visible. A third sign is the collapse of their fear and the rise of longing. They reach the point where the pain of being away from you becomes greater than the fear of being close. This is the moment destiny prepares slowly, sometimes with great difficulty. This is where running no longer works. Says, the emptiness created by your letting go becomes unbearable for them. Distraction stops working. The walls they built begin to fall. Restlessness grows. Silence becomes too loud. Nights become lonely. And suddenly they understand that life without you is harder than the risk of loving you again. This is when silence breaks. Then comes the fourth phase, sudden clarity. When they come back, it will not be with confusion or excuses. The inner darkness burns away all the doubt. You will feel it in the way they speak, in the softness of their eyes, in the difference of their presence. Clarity, certainty, and equal effort. This time, the connection will not be halfway. It will be intentional. The universe did not allow the separation so you could repeat the old cycle, but so you could begin a new one, more aware and healed. This reunion is not just possible. It is certain because it no longer depends on what you do. It depends on the completion of their inner healing. Pay attention to the signs. They confirm that your intuition was always pointing in the right direction. What you feel is not imagination but truth. The silence was not rejection but healing. The waiting was not punishment but protection. You were being guided from confusion into clarity. Now your task is to protect your peace and keep your energy high. Do not pause your life. Do not shrink your light. Live, grow, create, enjoy, and become more of yourself. When they return, let them see you standing strong, calm, bright, and sure of yourself. Not someone waiting helplessly, but someone ready to give and receive love in a healthy way. Destiny already made its promise. What the universe has joined cannot be broken. There may be distance or silence, but the invisible thread between two souls never snaps. Eventually they will be guided back to you, not because you pleaded, but because destiny has its own gravity. Why? The emptiness they feel inside constantly pulls them back toward where they felt safe, understood, and seen toward you. And when they return, it will not be the same love. It will be a grown love, a conscious one, a love that survived silence, distance, and fear. Receive them with the strength you built in this time apart. Do not allow doubt to destroy what destiny is completing. Do not give up now when you are standing so close to the turning point. Trust what you cannot see. Trust the messages you receive. Trust the timing of the universe. Trust that they love you even if they are still gathering the courage to come forward. Your love is real. Your path is true, and the manifestation is already unfolding. Say once again with calm certainty, my soul trusts the manifestation of this destiny, because what is meant for you already carries your name. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, feel the calm returning to your heart. What is coming toward you now is movement, clarity, and fulfillment. The universe never chooses wrong. It never fails its timing, and it never lets two souls meant for each other drift apart forever.